Rossmann. Tony Rossmann has been wonderful. I guess we could describe him as taking the lead. He gave the testimony in the federal hearings. We had one really strange morning. It was that big storm, you know, and it was pretty eerie because we got into the building. They were on emergency power. The lights were dim. The judge could not even hardly read what was in front of him. Anyway, but that was the first hearing, and then our second one. But I'm going to let Tony talk about this. Tony.
Thank you all very much. It's great that we all could pull this celebration together. And Brian, I'm grateful that you could be here because the first meeting we had, Brian and Gray are the two engineers of that meeting. Because Gray sent me an email. He said, Tony, there's a case I'd like you to think about getting involved in. And then it was in Brian's office where we all met and really kind of plotted out the law behind this case, which those of us who've done preservation law thought this was a pretty clear case where not only the National Historic Preservation Act, but the National Environmental Policy Act, in a sense, we were very fortunate. The Postal Service just wanted to pretend that they didn't apply to them. So the bottom line is after we filed the lawsuit, we got a temporary restraining order when there was a sale that went into place. The sale fell through. I think in all honesty, we can't say that our litigation made the sale fall through. The sale fell through because the people who had offered to purchase the post office got a structural report on this building that we still haven't seen, that we are not giving up on trying to see, that points out that this building is going to be a real challenge to anyone else who comes to own it, which is why we really want to make sure that the Postal Service itself continues to invest in the preservation of this building and makes the good use of it that we would like to see by maximizing and not mismanaging and abusing this property for the reasons that Gray explained. So just very quickly where we are now. The judge really held the Postal Service's feet to the fire. Those of you who were at the hearings will remember how the lawyer came out from Washington and just tried to dance with words around the judge's questions. Are you serious that you have taken this property off the market? And in their last pleading to the judge, the Postal Service said the short answer is yes, but, and then they took 2 pages to explain how they really couldn't rescind their approvals because they didn't know how to do that. They've never done that before. So the judge wrote his order. He said, the court posed this question. The Postal Service said yes. So this case is moot because this building is now no longer on the market. Which would have been a rather sweet outcome. I mean, we have to recognize maybe the best outcome would have been to have this case go down on the merits and create a published decision that would help others in the country. But, you know, we got the result we wanted. This building is no longer for sale. But then a day later, the judge did something that I've never seen in 40 years of practice. He issued a supplemental order saying, by the way, I'm going to keep jurisdiction of this case for the next 5 years to make sure that this building will not sell without more than a month's notice to the city, and secondly, that if they do sell it, his courtroom will be open to hear that challenge based on the work we've done so far. So I want to thank all of you for giving us a case that was a joy. I mean, we actually were looking for this case. I mean, we went to, when we knew that the city was unanimously supporting this, when we heard Brian and the trust have a national interest in this that had preceded ours, but never focused as well as this case. Keep in mind that the Advisory Council, the chair of the Advisory Council in that October hearing, in that hearing a year and a half ago, looked the post office representative right in the face and said, rightfully so, you've met your match in the City of Berkeley. So I'm not going to be with you too much longer. As you can see, my primary concern today, my daughter's last swim meet is down in Hayward. My 2 daughters are graduating across the street next month. I am grateful that they will leave Berkeley and go on to college knowing that when they come home, the post office will still be here.